Hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. We see a little bit of a decline today, some profit taking happening on Sunday. I think the end of the weekly candle or the end of the weekly, candle will lead to some more volatility. So later today, I would prefer a bit more of a pullback from here. Maybe the wave 2 has started or will start. In the last video, I shared with you a couple of different scenarios. We still have them on the chart. So this could either be a 1-2 setup with a third wave in the making, or just an A, B, C. And then this is a 1, 2, 3, and they're just different subdivisions. So here in the white wave count, we're talking about a 1-2 setup with 3, 4, 5 to come. In the other scenario, it would be an A, B, C, which would subdivide slightly differently, but overall not much change. But I will consider that when I add my support areas going forward. Now, at the moment, it's just a little bit too early to indicate we have topped there yet, but we're getting there, and I would prefer a pullback. And Bitcoin would also, it would be ideal if Bitcoin gets a bit of a pullback here as well, and then we will need to see if the wave 2 pullback is holding. So essentially, this could still push higher as long as we're holding micro support, and I will indicate in a minute what micro support is. Micro support is important for more direct extension and escalation in this wave 1. And if we get a deeper pullback, then it's likely the wave 2. I've added in my last video here these trend lines that can be relevant. Maybe this wave 2 could be quite deep to hit the trend line. It might not be that deep. I would also pay attention to this trend line as we come down for a potential reaction. That could be enough for a wave 2. So it might be shallow. If it's really bullish, it will be a shallow wave 2. But we'll see. It just had an interesting run. And it might just be on the verge of a breakout here above the recent highs. And the real breakout, I mean, if I go to the 8-hour chart, I mean, the real breakout will also happen above 40 here, these previous swing highs. But obviously, first of all, we need to get there. We have next key resistance here around $32. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see if the wave 2 support holds. First of all, we need to be concerned about the question if this wave 1 has topped now. We certainly have enough waves, okay? If it is topped now, then this would be an extended fifth wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in wave 1, or we're dealing here with an A, B, C structure, which would explain this deep pullback that we had here. But anyway, it wouldn't change much in terms of support. So in terms of micro support, the very first micro support we have, it's not very reliable, that will be at $26.50. So $26.50 is going to be the first micro support level. More relevant, in my opinion, is going to be $25.27. But below $26.50, I think we have some evidence that a top is in place. We would also break below those small swing lows then. So these are two levels to watch. They're just different fibs drawn differently. And breaking below one of them would indicate we're going to the next one. And then obviously we've got here the trend line as well. So these are two key support levels to watch. That if the first one is holding, more direct extension is possible. But as long as we come down and bounce from here, then I would not argue that this was wave 2 already. It would be unusual. But yeah, I mean, it's just a bit too early to indicate a top is in place, okay? This is just not strong enough yet in terms of a pullback. But if it continues throughout today, tomorrow, then yeah, I mean, then we might be in wave 2. I will already add wave 2 support now. And I'm going to draw it for the entire length of wave 1. So this would be wave 2 support is at $19.56. That's really the support level. Do not misunderstand that this is a target. It's not, it's support, which means if we break below that level, it will make continuation in this wave structure very, unlikely. Now that doesn't mean we have to come down all that level, all that distance, right? It could be enough to just touch $23 and that's it. Normally in a wave 2 pullback, I normally like to see the 50% level to be reached. What I will add is the 38.2 fib level, because normally the A wave, so such a correction is typically, one second, let me just do that first. Such a correction typically consists of an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. And it often is the case that the A wave touches the 38.2 fib level, then we get a B wave and a C wave. So just for info, I've got the 38.2 fib level on here. In my opinion, it's usually too shallow for a reliable wave 2, but I usually add it so that you see where an A wave could bounce. So the wave 2 should be an ABC structure. So what could happen is A wave, B wave, C wave. So it's a bit too early to talk about that. But these are the relevant fib levels that the price should respect in a wave 2. Support is at $19.50. If we get an A wave and a B wave that's clear, then we can calculate a target for wave C. That's different from support. Target is not necessarily support. So if I give you a support area, it doesn't mean it has to max it out. It doesn't even mean it has to reach it necessarily, even though it's likely. So when I say I would like to have a wave 2 reach the 50% fib level, it's just the ideal structure. It doesn't need to. Important is that in any wave 2, it doesn't break below $19.50. So you could start to scale in against that support if that's for you the right thing to do. Just note that below $19.50, things are probably going to turn out more bearishly. And also understand that we haven't got a confirmed top in place for wave 1, but I'm observing this very closely now. Obviously, above $30.30, we are going to have an extension of wave 1 still. Yeah, that's currently my view about Solana. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Today we've got our next member live stream, 5 p.m. UTC. As a member, you can participate. Also, we've got you get access to Discord and Telegram as silver and gold members, our chat rooms and educational content. And as a gold member, you get access to short-term market updates. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.